Welcome to Dollars, Lifestyle, and Charity, a finance podcast for gamers. And today we're going to be actually going through the patch notes of our podcast itself. I'm Scruffy, this is Romans, and today we are going to be talking about and breaking down what we've learned through almost a full year of podcasting.
That's right, guys. We've recorded 52 of, well, this is the 52nd episode, and we're going to give you a real blow-by-blow as to what it's like and of what we've learned, the successes, the failures, mostly the failures, of just what it's like doing a full year of podcasting from zero to hero. And we're far from hero status, but at least we're not zeros. I don't feel like a zero.
I've never been a zero, so I don't know what you're saying.
Wow, someone's confidence through the roof. The more humble one, me, definitely felt like a zero going into episode 0 because I've never done a podcast before. I've obviously been on many stages and on other people's podcasts, but it's always different when it's your podcast. So I felt like a zero, but I no longer feel like a zero anymore. So let's dig in. 52 episodes later, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's definitely been a learning experience for me because in college, I actually took a lot of speech classes. For my job, get in front of people, talk all the time. But there's something different about talking to a camera versus talking to an audience of people that really changes the way you interact. And I think it's definitely been a pretty big learning experience. I thought it was going to be a lot easier than it actually is. But overall, I think it's been a lot of fun. I've definitely learned a lot, but there's still more to go. So to start off, I kind of want to take some time to look back on some of our high moments, some of our low moments. So what was, here's the question I had for you. Like, what was the one episode that you were confident, oh, this is going to kill it, and it did nothing? And then what was one episode that you thought was like, oh, that was kind of a bad episode that ended up doing pretty well?
Well, I'll tell you the one I thought would do better was the burnt peanut one. I thought for sure, like, just the guy's so popular. You just talk about him and people want, like, what are you talking about? That'll go well. So that one, it didn't do poorly for our metrics, but it didn't take off. I thought for sure it's, I wanted to do exposés on great streamers and talk about it. Not really poop on the bad ones, but really celebrate the good ones and figure out what is working for them. And so, yeah, the peanut one, I would say, is the one I was disappointed in its performance. I'm looking at it now. We did it 5 months ago, 135 views, which for us, we had very humble beginnings. We just wanted 100 views per video on average in the early days. Obviously, that's nothing in YouTube land. You should be, if you really want to make it as a YouTuber, you should have millions of views every video. You don't really need that to be successful on YouTube. That's kind of like the dream, right? Always a million views. So crazy numbers. I think for now, even right now, I don't know what your number is, but I'd be happy with 1,000 views per video.
That'd be great. I mean, I'm not trying to replace my job with this. So I just want to get to the point where we're able to make content, and we'll get into this more later, but I want to get to the point where we're able to make content that is actually going to impact and help people.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting how we talk about how we get there. But I think right now I want us to get to 1,000 views. So hopefully by the end of this next year, we'll get there. But we just need to step up our game. I think we'll get through the nitty gritty of what we're doing better now. But as I look through, I think your other question is, what's a video you thought would do poorly but actually did well? And I think the Fortnite episode surprised me. The Rockstar one, but the one that really surprised me, it is our best video to date. It has 500 something views. Is did Valve just win the console war? So
yeah,
that one was a theoretical episode. Valve didn't do anything. It hasn't the GameCube hasn't even come out yet, to my knowledge. So that one was pure speculation, and it's our best video. So whether the algorithm felt like pushing it, that was 7 months ago, so we were only 5 months into the game. By that time, we've only shot about 20-something episodes or 30 episodes. And it is still... So we haven't done a video... So in the last 7 months, we haven't done a better video than that one. So it shows you we have a long way to go to get good.
Yeah.
Well, what about yourself? Any thoughts on your own question to me?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing about the video that I did not necessarily expect to take off was that Valve video on the GateCube. Like I recorded the video and I kind of finished that recording. I'm like, it was interesting, but it's probably not going to do anything because we had done a couple episodes in that kind of the same formula, but that was our first one to really pop, and we were going from like maybe 20, 30 views to all of a sudden we get over 500 views. Um, and I'm gonna cheat a little bit for my answer on the what I didn't think would do well, but did do well is our mini viral moment with the Uma Musume clip that went like last I checked, it had over like 150,000 views on Instagram, which is insane to me. And it was like the dumbest part of our episode where we were just talking about. I forget what the episode was even on, but we just briefly talk about Uma Musume, and all of a sudden it just influx of people onto our page, which was crazy because just for something so incredibly dumb.
Yeah, well, we don't have the algorithm doesn't know us from a hill of beans, and so I
Yeah.
think that short was perfect, beautiful brain rot. We weren't necessarily mocking the derby, but it is pretty
No.
silly that
Yeah.
something as famous and fancy as a derby, that a game about running horse girls is what is now sponsoring your fancy event. It is, yeah. It was a perfect storm for us, but it was content that had nothing to do with our channel, just something we were just laughing about.
Yeah.
Which really tells you kind of where we are right now. We should just be talking about dumb, famous things and find those oxymoronic moments and yuck it up, and we'll get to a million. We'll get our gold button or silver button, our YouTube button.
I don't know if I want it if that's the way it's gonna come.
Yeah. I think going back to your question, we aren't doing this podcast because we want to be YouTubers or podcasters or anything. We're doing it because we've always wanted one, and it's fun to do it. Like, this is just a fun thing.
Yeah.
But we, if you're gonna do anything, you might as well take it a little bit serious. So that's kind of where our efforts kicking in. We're like, we should probably actually try,
Mm-hmm.
and not just put trash on the internet, but put real thoughtfulness.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
yeah.
on that note, before we get into what we think we can improve, I wanted to continue looking back. What was your favorite episode we did or favorite topic we covered? Like, what was the most fun for you?
I think for me, it's the one where we argue. I like the ones where I'm really right and you're really wrong, which is pretty much all of them.
Gosh.
Right? So this is it's just how. I'm just kidding.
Who's
But
the humble one now?
I do enjoy the contentious ones. Whether they get views or not is kind of the rub. That's the part that I struggle with. I'm like, it was fun for me, but do viewers actually care? Do viewers care when I dumpster Scruffy or if he dumpsters me? Does that actually translate to views? Because it was fun to do. But that just comes back to my upbringing. I like fighting. When you grow up in a war, you're used to a war zone. It's like those soldiers that come back all PTSD'd out. They're like, yeah. A life in conflict is used to conflict. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's me. What about you?
I think for me, there was one episode we did that was talking about credit cards and like things to do with them, things to not do with them. And I had one person reach out to me afterwards and was asking me questions about it, and I was able to actually help them out. So I think it wasn't necessarily like the episode itself, but the fact that I was able to like use that as a springboard to actually help someone in real life with a problem they had or with a question they had, that was what I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, and I think that's the original impetus behind this entire podcast, was to help people. We obviously wanted to get to the point where we could do some of the Dave Ramsey take a call and answer it live on air. I think that's still an episode we have to try and do and just see how it plays out. Maybe we give terrible advice, but I think that'll make it even funnier. That'll make it funnier if we give bad advice. And somehow it works, could be hysterical. But will that make it on the show? Who knows? But
yeah, it's interesting. It's been fun. I think there are a lot of ways that we can actually improve, though. I think one thing we have done fairly good about is our preparation and the topics we've picked. I think we've learned a lot in specifically the topic side, because for all of our shows, we always had a show document that I painstakingly put together and Romans looks at as we're recording the episode.
So
But
everything he was talking about is kind of one-sided. It's not.
but we do collaborate on like the actual ideas for the episode, and then I'll just go ahead and put the show notes together. But I think through that we have found, for a certain degree, where we are right now, somewhat of a formula of what we can focus on to actually bring potential viewers. And I think uh, as we continue to develop, continue to get sharper on those topics, I think it'll be good. But I think we definitely have made some progress, but we still have a lot of way to go on that side.
People love a train wreck. Let's talk about what we're bad at. Let's talk. Let's get into it. What let's just expose all the realities, because I got some fun ones that I wanted to surprise you with that are you can't even tell has already happened. But we'll get there and I'll talk about it.
All right.
So let's talk about things that we did horribly. What parts?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the really bad ones.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So for me, it was drilled in my head over and over and over again while I was in school. Don't use filler words. Don't be the like, so I mean, and I'm really good at that on stage. Like if I'm in front of a big group of people or presenting something to individuals, like if I could see your face for whatever reason, I'm pretty good at not using filler words. But there's something about a camera that's doing nothing but looking back at you and giving you no expressions. It causes me to lose my train of thought so much. And instead of doing what I should do, what I've learned to do is pause, then find my train of thought and continue. Instead, I'll be like in the middle of a situation, in the middle of a topic, like I just did, and be like, by the way, and not actually get to the topic clearly. So I think that's one of the biggest things for me personally.
Yeah, I'm glad you have that problem. I'm fantastic. I don't have that problem at all. That's definitely a you only thing. I think it's being comfortable in silence, which for a YouTube generation, silences are terrible moments. We should fill every second with important thoughts and words. Uh, and I just did it right there. Right there. Right there. I just caught myself. I just did it. You just got to be, we have to be okay with breathing and thinking and going and doing instead of, so what next? The other issue, I think for me, this is more of a me thing. That last one is mostly you, a little bit me, but this one's all me and none you, is the robots. My internet has been terrible and it's getting worse. It's gotten so worse. This episode is our first episode ever using Riverside Studio. So if this episode is hot doo-doo, it's Riverside's fault. Prior to this, I like to spend money when I know I have to. We've been using Discord. If you
Mm-hmm.
can't tell, every episode before this one, our 52nd episode, has been using Discord and just doing a typical voice chat.
Yep.
And then I was using OBS. Now I'm learning from Riverside that everything happens within Riverside. I won't even use OBS anymore. And we're hoping the quality goes up. I'm confident this will not have any more robots because it uses native recording on each person's device. It's recording on Scruffy's natively and then on mine, but I'm really the robot. So it's really a me problem. Hopefully you shall never hope. And I'm hoping the episode that we will just listen to, because I didn't check the audio at all, hopefully it does not have audio issues, the last two episodes. But anyways, going forward, it's going to be smooth like butter. And the other thing I want to share with you, every episode prior to this one, I was using my old headphones.
Oh
And
my
so
gosh.
you can't tell. Well, now you can tell because it's not on my ears. But these bad boys,
Oh my goodness.
these are the
Those have been
headphones I've
through the
used,
ringer.
right? These Corsair headphones still work. They're just visually falling apart. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Right? Look at that thing. That thing has, my headphones have cauliflower ear. They've been with me so long, they got cauliflower ear. But my wife got me new headphones for Father's Day. And so that's
Ooh.
what I'm wearing now. And they're Bluetooth, so hopefully they're long enough to record an episode. We'll see how long they last. But
Yeah.
that's a little hidden secret. And I've been visually wondering if people could tell how chewed up that is. Like, I've been
Yeah,
wondering, can
that's
people tell? That's what 51 episodes have. And you've never noticed until now. Opus, make a clip out of this. This got to be a clip. So there you go. And I've had those headphones for years. Those headphones are like 4 or 5 years. So I definitely
Hey,
think
that's
I
not
got
bad.
my money's worth. But man, oof, I was always guilty. I wonder if they can tell. It looks all tattered. But humble beginnings, guys. Humble beginnings. The other thing I'm guilty of is I never reset my background. The cameras, these are cameras from when Scruffy was last here. Those are
Oh
the
yeah,
same
that
cameras.
was. They're
I
still
never put them
there.
in the bag and put it where they belong, back in the storage closet for yeah. So my setting, there's just things never move. Things never move behind me, and I should move stuff around. Every episode. Oh, here, look, this chair moved, but that's because my son sat in it. That's another noob mistake where I'm personally making. And yeah, I don't read the show notes, and I like not reading the show notes, but I probably should read them because sometimes there's interesting things in there that I should know are happening. And I love to surprise Scruffy. So even today, I got one more
Oh
surprise
boy.
to show him when we get there.
Yeah.
I like his real reaction to what's happening on stream. So hopefully the audio will now be better. Our video angles still stink. For the most part, this podcast is just my severed head. It's not even my shoulder. Which, if you learn, you're supposed to be 2/3. So I still got to figure out the camera. I honestly think the problem for me is my camera's too high. If you can see my setup, my camera's literally up in China. It's like
Yeah.
up in space, and I'm down here. That's just a setup issue. I need to figure that out. So I'm always I
Hmm.
don't know if you can tell, but I literally have to look up into the ceiling to look into the camera.
Yeah,
So
that was something that I put on here as well. Like that I need to get a lot better at doing is not just like actually looking at the camera, but I notice when I watch my episodes, I'll be like looking around as I'm talking and not actually looking literally everywhere except actually at the audience,
mhm.
which is really easy to do. Like when you're thinking about something, especially because there's something about when you're looking at someone in the eye, it's easy to make that connection. When you're looking into a camera, there's nothing there. There's quite literally absolutely nothing. So it's hard to actually discipline yourself to want to look into the camera, even when it is at eye level, let alone looking up at the ceiling like Romans.
Yeah. My neck hurts after the end of these longer episodes. All right, so the if you look behind, like that's our first episode that's behind Scruffy, and in that episode, I still do it to this day. I look down and I look away, and when I want to research things, I definitely want to. I get so interested. Oh my, I got to research this thing, and when I do that, I'm basically no longer like even as I record this, lots of these mistakes we just got to get better at. We got to stop doing because the pros don't do it, and they set the tone as to what is acceptable, and we got to get good grubs,
Yeah. I
especially
think the
this next
last
year. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Go for it.
absolutely. I think the last thing that I really picked up on when we were looking at things is for me, I tend to go too long on a topic. And I've learned this as I've been making clips where like a lot of the clips that I want to make or on a topic that I really want to talk about, it goes on for like 2 minutes. And there's not really a good clippable 30 seconds in there. So I've learned I need to be a lot more concise, need to be a lot more to the point and focus on what the actual meat of the thing I want to say. What is the thing that actually matters? And say that instead of going on and on and on.
Yeah, and something we've learned is we're doing 30-minute episodes. The 1 hour plus episodes, they're just a waste of time. It
Yep.
takes a lot more of our time, and the viewers clearly don't care. We found a sweet spot's around 30 minutes, so we're going to do 30-minute episodes. We have 11 minutes to go. Let's keep this show on the road. What other things do we want to embarrass ourselves about? Let's go.
Yeah. I think what I wanted to talk about next was where our show fits in because we clearly had like a vision of where we wanted to go and our audience was absolutely no one. We had a couple friends that were watching episodes to give us a nice little ego boost. But the reality is, we weren't actually finding an audience with the initial content we started making. Our initial idea was to have a finance podcast for gamers. And I think we still want to do that to a degree and I think we do that as well because we find these topics, find these relevant gaming topics, and do relate them to business, to personal finance. And I think that that is going to be more where our niche is actually going to fit instead of finding personal finance topics and putting them in a way that gamers can understand, which is, at least for me, where I thought our podcast was going to go.
Yeah, and I think it's so common sense because if the people who need what we need actually want our content, they would already get their content. So
Yeah.
I think for us, it's a little bit of, hey, we want to sell honey. Where's the bees at? And it turns out we're not selling honey at all. We're selling garlic. So I think, according to Scruffy, our best episodes have not been the core reason of the show at all. Our number
Mm-hmm.
one episode was talking about GameCube, right? The Steam console, which is gaming related, has nothing to do with your financial future. The
Nope.
one after that was a little bit of trash talking Rockstar. They kept getting hacked. Again, getting hacked is an important business lesson, but most people don't have to deal with that as long as you have 2FA or common sense on
Mm-hmm.
how you handle your passwords and access. The next one after that was a little bit of shaming Epic and Fortnite dying. So as we can tell, our best content are episodes about popular subjects, and they get the views. And that can sound like a negative thing, but I think what it's teaching me is we probably need to figure out how to get an audience first and build a bigger audience before we get into how they need to live their lives better with a helpful tip here and there. And the other thing I learned is people really don't like negative episodes. All of
Yeah.
our episodes where we are very open, like, guys, this is why you're broke. Guys, this is why you can't afford anything. Like, guys, people do not like those episodes. So we'll have to figure out how to better thumbnail our episodes. And the whole thumbnailing thing has been quite a journey. AJ, who edits our things, really handles our thumbnails pretty much every episode these days. We don't give much
Mm-hmm.
input into it. So he's kind of solving that for us. That's a little bit off our backs. But I have noticed that our best episodes are when we use popular or famous things in the thumbnail
Mm-hmm.
and then people react to it. Because really, you and I are nobodies. In the grand scheme of
Yeah.
things, we are nobodies when it comes to the world of the internet. So we need to figure out how to
And let's
cover
keep
topics
it that way.
yes, part of the reason why we both don't use our real names.
Yeah.
We have no, which is actually another layer of complexity, right? Neither one of us wants to be famous or well known. We want to be known well, which is the opposite of well known in
Yeah.
some regards, and we want to be respected. We want to give real advice, but we probably need to amass an audience. So the Scruffy Roman show needs to figure out a way to create content that millions of people care about. And then after those millions are there, give content that maybe 1,000 or 10,000 could benefit from. So the
Mm-hmm.
beautiful thing about this podcast is we don't care if we have a million viewers or not, but there's math to it. If we want to help 10 people, we probably need a million views. So there's this weird give and take. So we're not going to stop talking about popular things, but we need to figure out the right mix. And that's kind of
Yeah.
where we're heading next. So we're going to figure out how to talk about popular things and maybe sneak in, right? Like how do you get a kid to eat vegetables? You're right. You give him chicky nuggies, and inside the chicky nuggies might be bits of healthy things. That is
Mm-hmm.
one way to do it. Or you give them 3 nuggets and then 20 celery sticks and tell them have a good dinner, and they'll probably bawl their eyes out. They'll eat the 3 nuggets and be like, "I'm still hungry."
It's
You're like,
not
well, you
even
got
broccoli. It's just
yeah.
celery.
Ugh. So we need to figure out we got to cook. So let us cook, guys. Thanks for listening to this podcast. Thanks for joining us on this journey from zero to hopefully hero one day, and that we're impacting real souls because
Yeah.
ultimately that's all of this is to impact the people who view it, and that I would love it. However long this goes, that someone says, "Hey, thanks to your podcast, I'm no longer in debt.
Yeah.
Thanks to your podcast, I got a car that I can actually afford. I got a house." Right, or whatever or the opposite. I don't mind. I'm rich. Great,
Yeah.
you're rich now. That's super duper cool. But our goal isn't to necessarily get people to be rich, but stop people from being poor. Because
Yeah.
being rich doesn't fix everything, but being poor really hurts your ability to flourish and grow. It can consume you, and it can be all you think about. But the opposite isn't true. If you're rich, you don't. Some folks never stop think they still need more. There's this weird consumption thing, like, cool, I'm technically at 1%, but I still need more. And we
Yeah.
don't want to help. We don't want to create that type because you can get lost in a world of
Mm-hmm.
insatiable appetites. You're always starving, and that's kind of what this whole thing is. We want to stop people from starving. You know, the American capitalism. We want to try and create healthy expectations and healthy futures, especially if you're young. If you're below the age of 30, man, time is the greatest reason to make you essentially wealthy. And if you squander that
Absolutely.
and start when you're 50s, it does become a little bit more grim. And I'm 44, turning 45 next, 45 this year. In a couple of months, I'll be 45. You don't want to start at 45. Praise God, I'm not starting at 45.
You guys all the way
According,
from the 1900s.
what? Yeah. Back in my day. Um, yeah. So thanks,
But
guys, for listening. Super appreciate it. Yeah, go
yeah,
for it.
absolutely. Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. I completely agree with Romans. The purpose of this episode, all of these episodes, this podcast, is if we can just impact a couple people positively, then we have achieved our goal. We just want to be we both have a lot of knowledge in the and around the finance space, and we both have some passion behind gaming. So we want to be able to use that to actually help people. As far as like the future of this goes, like Roman said, we don't really know how long this podcast is going to go, but what we do know is we want to be able to use it to actually make an impact in people's lives. That's why that's why I do my job. Why I'm a financial advisor is that because I'm able to help people out. So same thing with this podcast. What we want to do is find ways to get a bigger audience so that we can actually provide people with some tools in their tool belt to go out and actually make a positive difference. Um, we're both Christians is a big part of this as well. The Lord blesses us so that we can be a blessing. But if you're not in a position to actually take care of yourself and take care of your family, you can't actually be that much of a blessing to other people. So we want to get you to a place where you can be blessed and then bless other people as well.
Yeah, that's what's up. So let's be a blessing. Uh, and the last thing we have the other side to it is sometimes money helps. Sometimes a little bit of money helps. Sometimes channels like ours can do it, even though we're making zero money doing this. We can still throw money at it because we feel like it. So you're gonna see us probably in a future edit where we are giving away $100. Someone by now, by the time this airs, someone would have gotten $100 from episode 50, which is announcing very soon. And we'll tell you if you had made a comment in that video, you got a chance to win $100. We'll probably through the magic of editing come back here to spin some type of wheel, and then whoever it lands on gets $100. So congratulations to future person, whoever it is out there. And may you
Oh
use it
yeah.
for credit card debt if you have any before you spend it on anything fun like food, fun food, like normal food. Okay, but don't blow it on Chick-fil-A, the Lord's chicken. Oh wait, and I have one more surprise for Scruffy. We're gonna talk about how our financials are doing, and while I'm pulling this up because I just realized I don't have it ready, is if Scruffy doesn't give me advice, I'm gonna buy
Oh
something else.
boy. Oh
So,
no.
all right, there it is. Oh my god, I did it. There it is. So this is the week of. So the last time we saw this was the week of the 12th. This is last week's trades. And so that's how much we made last week. We made a whopping $115 last week trading. And that's because I wanted to show it. You might say, hey, there's no activity. And that's kind of the point. We didn't think that me as a day trader, because Scruffy knows I'm a day trader. And and as a day trader, I came to the analysis that last week was way too volatile
Uh-huh.
and that we could not make any trades. I definitely wasn't surprised when I saw this about 20 minutes ago, but we only made 4 trades last week for a whopping $112. So the lesson to you guys is sometimes you can't trade even though you want to. And maybe you think you have to trade every day. But if the numbers don't go your way, don't trade. Because that's what I did as the day trader. I decided
Uh-huh.
not to day
Yeah,
trade.
absolutely. This was definitely decided by Romans. And
Yes,
it had nothing to do with the fact that the market was closed one of the days last week, which I bet you don't even realize which day that was.
it was Friday the 19th.
Okay, he does know something.
Because he told me 20 minutes ago.
Oh, dang it.
I didn't. Yeah, he texted me, hey, just so you know, Friday was a bank close, bank holiday, Juneteenth
Got
or
bailed out.
whatnot. Yep. Yep. So anyway, so great lesson. We're still up for the month, but last week was a no work week. So Scruffy, do you have any idea what stocks I should throw $1,000 at, or Should I
Hey,
continue to
if
day
you want
trade?
an interesting one that you're gonna want to hold for a little while, but they're
Yes.
really interesting, IONQ. They're a quantum computing company, and they're leaders in the space. And they
IONQ?
IONQ.
Are you seeing around $60 a share? Is that what you're seeing?
I would need to pull it up. Give me a sec.
All right. Because I'm literally
I know that
doing
that's
it
their
as we
symbol.
speak.
Let me confirm that.
All right.
And
By
my
the way,
trading
since
system had
since
kicked
this
me
episode,
out.
SpaceX is, I have a bunch of shares at 165 a share. All right, let's see. How do I trade?
Even after
Trade.
I told you not to buy it, because you yourself said you didn't want to buy it with knowing what you're actually holding. And you still
Oh
did
yeah,
it.
you weren't around. Where were you? Where were you?
I was literally texting you not to do
You
that.
have to give me an alternative.
You didn't ask for an alternative. You just said, "Oh, I'm not going to buy this." Actually, I'm lying. I'm totally buying this.
I'm buying 17 shares of this IONQ place if I'm doing this right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
Uh,
$60 a share should be about the price.
okay.
Maybe a little bit lower,
And
but
buy. Before investing, consider risk tolerance. What? I don't need advice. I have Scruffy. All right, I bought 17 shares of IONQ. Whatever happens, happens. And at
there
least
you
we're not
go.
day trading it. He has saved another $1,000 that hopefully will grow and be put into my DAF, which will then go to charity. Good job, Scruffy. Good job. Another 1,000 saved.
There
You
we
said Home
go.
Depot. I never bought that Home Depot from an episode ago.
Oh, his
Is Home Depot
conscience,
too
it was
late?
weighing on him.
I'm a man of my word. I said Home Depot. Let's do it. I'm also going to do Home Depot. What is Home Depot's stock number? Or what is
HD.
their... Oh, that makes sense. HD. Home Depot. What the heck? There's 300 something a share. You can only buy 3 of these bad boys. Buy 3. Oh wait, it says I own. What? What? No, I must be confused. Order type, market. Wait, 3. What the heck? Oh, it did the wrong share. I almost bought Nvidia. Okay. You don't like Nvidia,
Buying
huh?
Home Depot accidentally purchases a Nvidia.
There you go. I can only buy 3 of these shares. 3 Home Depot shares bought. All right, cool. Well, thanks, guys. That went over. I'm pretty sure we hit over 30 minutes. Oh, yeah. Oopsies. We're 34 minutes. So thanks for
It's
listening to
all
our
good.
anniversary episode of self-affliction, self-aggrandization,
Reflection?
self-deprecation, self-reflection. And hopefully you're going to see some fantastic new content coming into year 2. We should probably do season. Season 1 ends. Season 2 begins starting now.
And until then, this has been Dollars Lifestyle and Charity, a finance podcast for gamers. We'll see you next time. Bye.